Good morning, children. Sai Ram. Welcome to Chapter 6, Part 4 of History, that is Towns, Traders, and Craftspersons. So, children, before we move ahead with this session, a gentle reminder once again to keep your notepad and pen ready to write down the important points or meaning. Let us start with recapitulation. That is, let us once again try to understand what we did in the last session. We started off with a closer look, and the place which we started off was Hampi. So the first topic was the architectural splendor of Hampi, right? So children, Hampi of the Vijayanagara Empire is located in Krishna Tungabhadra Basin, founded in the year 1336. Hampi was a well fortified city. No mortar or cementing agent was used in the construction of these walls, right? We understood this yesterday, children. And we also learned that the technique followed was to wedge the walls together by interlocking, isn't it, children? The buildings of the royal complex had splendid arcs, domes, and pillared halls with well planted orchards and pleasure gardens. It also had sculptural motifs, isn't it? So, Hampi was bustled with commercial and cultural activities. We also learned about the cultural activities at Hampi. Moors, chettis, and agents of European traders dominated the markets of Hampi. Temples were the hub of cultural activities, and Devdasis, that is the ones who perform dance in the temple, okay, before the deity. Royalty and masses also existed. The Mahanavami temple, the one that we call nowadays as Navaratri, okay, was one of the important festivals celebrated at Hampi. Children, Hampi lost its importance after the defeat of Vijayanagara in 1565 by the Deccan Sultans, that is the rulers of Golconda, Bijapur, Ahmednagar, Bidar and Berar, right? So today in this session we are going to start with a gateway to the west, that is Surat. So children, now that we are talking about Surat, let us first understand where exactly Surat lies. Okay, so Surat lies in Gujarat, and it was the emporium of western trade, right? This was during the Mughal period, along with the Cambay, that is present day Khambat, and somewhat later Ahmedabad. So points to be remembered here is Surat lied where? In Gujarat, and was emporium of western trade. So what do you understand by emporium? Okay, emporium means a place. Emporium means a place where goods from different production centers are brought, and they are not only brought, they are brought how? They are purchased, they are bought and are sold. Okay. So this is the meaning of the word emporium. You can note it down. Emporium means a place where goods from diverse production centers are bought and sold. So children, Surat was considered as the gateway for trade with West Asia. Through what or via what? Via the Gulf of Hormuz. Gulf of Hormuz. Surat is also called the gate to Mecca because many pilgrim ships set sail from here. You know what is Mecca, children? Mecca is considered to be a great pilgrimage place. Okay, it is a very auspicious place of Muslims, right? So it is considered as, Surat is considered as gate to Mecca too. Why? Because many pilgrim ships set sail from Surat. Children, this city was cosmopolitan. Cosmopolitan means people of different religions, okay, different caste, culture, okay. So people of different religion and all castes and creeds lived here. So in the 17th century, the Portuguese, Dutch and English, okay, they had their factories and warehouses at Surat. So children, do you know what are factories? What do we say? What do we understand by the word factories? Factories is a place where goods are produced, right? So Portuguese, Dutch and English, they had their factories and warehouses at Surat. Children, according to the English chronicler, whose name was Ovington, he wrote an account of the port of Surat in the year 1689. According to him, on average, 100 ships of different countries could be found anchored at the port at any given time. So from this we can make out how the city of Surat held its importance, how much important it was, and why it was so important, because of the trade with West Asia via Gulf of Hormuz. Right, children? Children, there were also several retail and wholesale shops that used to sell cotton textiles. The textiles of Surat were famous for their gold lace borders, that is jari. So children, if you ask your mother or if you ask your grandmother, I am sure they must be having at least one sari which has got a jari border. Okay, so jari border is nothing but a gold lace border. So Surat was very much famous for it. And these products like the gold lace borders, okay, it had a market in West Asia, Africa and Europe. Children, the state built numerous rest houses to take care of the needs of the people from all over the world who came to the city. There were beautiful, magnificent buildings, okay, and lots of pleasure parks. The Kathiawar Seths and the Mahajans. Who were the Mahajans? Mahajans were the money changers. Okay, so the Kathiawar Seths and the Mahajans had a huge banking houses at Surat. Children, it is very important to note here that Surat hundis were honored in the far off markets of Cairo in Egypt. Now, when I talk about hundi, what do you understand by hundi? Hundi is nothing but it is a note recording. Okay, it is a note recording. That means that which means that when person used to make any deposit, okay, a record was maintained of it, a note was done, okay, a note was recorded. So hundi is what? It is a note recording of deposit made by a person. So the amount deposited by that person can be claimed in any other place, okay, can be claimed in another place by presenting the record of the deposit. So once again, coming back to the topic, Surat hundis were honored in the far off markets of Cairo in Egypt, which is not in India. You all know that, right? Egypt is outside India, it's a different country altogether. So the Surat hundis were honored there also. And not only in Egypt, at Basra in Iraq and Antwerp in Belgium too. Now, let us understand the whole thing again. Okay, Surat was the retail and the wholesale shop selling cotton textiles. Surat's textile was known for jari, that is gold border, gold lace border. Okay, and it had a big market in West Asia and Europe. So when the trade was done, obviously money was the essential ingredient, and the Kathiawar Seths and the Mahajans, okay, that is the money changers, they had a huge banking houses at Surat. Surat hundis were honored in far off markets of Cairo in Egypt, Basra in Iraq, and Antwerp in Belgium. Right? Now, in spite of all this, okay, Surat began to decline. Let us understand more about it now. Children, Surat started declining towards the end of the 17th century. Now, this was because of lots of factors, various factors, okay. One such factor is, loss of markets and productivity. Now, why loss of markets and productivity in spite of everything? It was because of the decline of the Mughal Empire. Decline of the control of the sea routes by the Portuguese and competition from Bombay, that is present day Mumbai. So children, Mumbai by then also had started emerging as a trade center. So there was a lot of competition between Surat and Mumbai. Now people who used to trade, they got very much attracted to Mumbai or Bombay than Surat. So what happened was, the English East India Company, they shifted their headquarters to Mumbai in the year 1668. But children, just for your information, Surat is still a bustling commercial center. So children, with this I end this session, that is, I end the part 4 of history, chapter number 6. In the last session that I will be taking, that is in tomorrow's video, I will be taking you through fishing in the troubled waters, that is Masulipatnam, also known as Machilipatnam, and new towns and traders. So see you in the next video. Hope you are enjoying this. Till then, goodbye and keep learning.